API has several parameters. According to that, its response is directed. Now, if any client is communicating with this server, then each client has its own type of requirements. Then how those requirements are given to the server, it depends on the params. Now, there are few types of parameters which we call as the query string. We will discuss these type of parameters in detail now. Let's take an example. This is the API, api.example.com/products. Parameter starts from the question mark. Here it is question mark. Then this was the first parameter. What's the first parameter? Limit. Limit equal to 10. You are given this to the API. Second parameter is offset. Offset equal to 20. These are two parameters. Now in the URL, these parameters look like this. First will come the question mark, and after the question mark, there will be each parameter separated by the AND operator. Now what's the best practice to define the parameters? We usually don't define the parameter directly in the URL. We use the parameters in the method itself. Let's cover the first type of parameters. Filtering parameter. Filtering parameter is the type of parameter where you define the filters. First, you define the parameters. Params equal to in the form of dictionary, and there can be multiple parameter. First, we have considered the user ID. User ID equal to 1. User ID equal to 1. Then response equal to, you apply the method request.get URL, the main URL we have passed here, comma, params equal to params. This params will be converted into the JSON, because you know API takes the parameters in the form of the JSON. After that, our response is also stored in the form of the JSON. Now response.url. This is the actual URL after the appendment of the parameters. User ID equal to 1. Length of the data, and we have taken the 2 samples from the output. Now if you will notice, all the user IDs will have the 1. So this is the filter parameter. You give the filters, and according to that, server will give the response. Second is the sorting parameters. Sorting parameter arrange the output. If, for example, if you want to arrange the output in the ascending or the descending order based on any specific column, there you use the sorting parameter. You define in like this similar way. You have defined the earlier filtering parameters. In the sort, you will give the column which will be used as the sorting column, and in the order you give the ascending or the descending. Have this thing can be changed according to the API. It is independent. Parameters are always independent of the API. Every API has its own type of parameters, but we are discussing the types of parameter on a broad way. So you have to relate this to your use case, your API. You have to read the documentation and have to define this, which type of parameters you are working on. So what will this do? This will arrange the data in the ascending order of price. Field selection, usually it happens, you want to make the API lightweighted, but you know API gives hundreds of columns, but you require only 5 to 10 columns. So is it an optimized way to take out the 100 columns in your DB and then fit in out? No. In the raw source only, you will tell the server, yes, I want only these 5 columns, give me these 5 columns as the output. This will make your API quite optimized and will increase your performance also. Here, fields equal to ID, name, price. We want only these 3 columns. How you define? Params equal to field, column, and then the name of the column separated by the comma. Again, this depend on the API to API. Some API support the feed parameters, some API don't support it. Now aggregation transformation parameters. It is very rare, although if you want to aggregate the data based on any column and the type of aggregation you want to apply. For example, based on the gender, you want to identify how many users have registered on your website. So what you will do, group by equal to gender, count equal to ID. So what you will return, for example, male have registered for 100 seats, female has registered for 110 seats. So this is grouping the data based on category, gender. It is very rare. This type of response is usually given by the Analytics API. Many BI tools support this type of API. For example, Google Analytics API. Now Boolean parameter. Boolean parameters are the true and false. For example, if you want to check those products which are available in the stock only, then you will apply in stock equal to true. And for example, you want to check those products which are out of stock, so you will do in stock equal to false. This will be either false or true or 0 and 1. And last is the search parameters. In the search parameter, you search the string. If that string is available in the response, then only response will be given to the client. Else, it will be eliminated from the results. For example, here you are searching the phone. If phone is available in the response, then only that response is directed to the client. If you will notice, phone is available here. Headphones. Now search for the second phone. Look, here's the second phone. API, working with the API is quite dynamic. You have to understand the API documentation, and based on that, these parameters differ. Usually these parameters lie in these measure types. If you understand these measure types, then it will be very easy to query any API to get the expected results from the any API. It is very important to understand the types of parameter. Thank you.